It's known as America's last great frontier, Alaska, where world champion dog sledders race, snow sculptures glisten in the land of the midnight sun, where majestic mountains and snowboarding abound, and the exploration and development of Alaska's natural resources is the future of America's economic prosperity and independence. Alaska may also be the last great frontier for careers in natural resources and process industries.
We're looking at 50+ years here of opportunity in this state.
Alaska is a rich state in regards to the resources and also to the people.
We have a phenomenal resource base yet to be developed in this state. We have a very small population, less than 700,000 citizens in a state that encompasses a landmass that if you were to lay it over the United States, it would stretch from the east to the west coast and from the Gulf Coast to the Canadian border. It's a huge land area with a phenomenal potential for growth and for development in the coming decades.
I think Alaska is the land of opportunity, especially for those looking for careers and especially for young people. The challenge we have in acting on that opportunity, though, is the training that is needed to get people into those careers.
And that means Alaska is a frontier for training and education as well. A host of large-scale energy and resource development projects are on the horizon, in not only oil and gas production, petroleum refining and mining, but also in manufacturing, power generation, food processing plants, and water treatment, which means opportunities abound for Alaskan workers if they have the education and training needed to enter Alaska's current and future workforce.
Programs available at the university, we're heavily dependent on the partnerships we have with industry. All of our workforce programs rely on industry input to help us recognize and teach to the standards where our students can go directly into jobs from here. So it's a critical component for us to really have the industry involved to tell us what their needs are.
I would have to say that the old day when I was going to school, we used to have Voc Tech in the classroom. That really isn't in the classroom today. And we're trying to bring that back into the classroom to start teaching kids about careers, getting them thinking now, what do you want to do when you grow up?
Those are translated by the educators into curriculum for the schools. So you've got standardized skills, you've got then a fairly standard curriculum, which once delivered to the student, delivers the kind of employee that we need.
Alaska has grown and developed along with the original oil pipeline that runs the length of the state. But the people who moved to Alaska in the 1970s to work on the pipeline are now nearing retirement age. These baby boomers are now a large segment of the working population. Alaska's pipeline to the future is growth in the process industry and careers that require technical training and on-the-job experience, with more opportunities for advancement than ever before.
We call it the graying of the workforce. And this workforce, in many cases, especially the technician ranks, are approaching the year 50-ish so. And what we see is a vast amount of those are going to be retiring. Those jobs will still exist, okay? There's also opportunities for the gas pipeline, because as the gas pipeline is developed and put into place, there will be thousands of jobs actually available for the construction phase.
We have a phenomenal opportunity for growth in the next decade as the national and global economy turns around in resource extraction-based industries. As demand for minerals and for energy start to rise, I think Alaska is going to see a real solid growth cycle in the next 10 years.
Yet one of the major challenges for industry to thrive in the coming decades is having an Alaskan workforce that's ready to go, well-trained, available, and willing to work to meet the needs of the Alaskan process industry. This is why the Alaska Process Industry Careers Consortium, or APICC, was formed to bring all elements together to put Alaska's resources to work.
The mission of APEC is to develop a highly trained, highly skilled Alaskan workforce sufficient to staff the needs of Alaska's process industries.
Making the connection. We're a connector. APIC is a connector to provide the information about the opportunities that are out there in regards to education and making the connections with the opportunities that are currently available.
we want to work together as an industry so that it's not just a BP or a ConocoPhillips or any other entity, doing this all by themselves. Because the university needs to be able to put a program in place that will meet the needs of industry. And that's what APIC is about bringing all these parties together in such a manner that they can have a collective voice so that the university can understand what we need as an industry and our skills of our people, and then turn around and provide that to us.
It has resulted in a cooperative effort between industry, labor, and education to prepare tomorrow's workers, including the North Slope Training Cooperative, in which Alaska's oil and gas producers and their contractor companies offer standardized courses in health, safety, and environmental training.
You have to go through the safety orientation so that when you get to the slope, you understand about cold weather, you understand how to protect yourself, and you understand how to help your fellow workers. You understand the hazards that you're going into just from the environment, because essentially you can't go to work on the slope unless you have these particular credentials.
Another initiative is called Putting Alaska's Resources to Work, or PARW, in which the oil, gas, and mining industries work together to continuously maintain a forecast of industry needs and corresponding priority occupations for the future.
If all of the projects that have been proposed for resource extraction, energy in particular, go forward in the next decade, we could see a demand for as many as 20,000 or more full-time employees by the middle of the next decade or the latter part. That's a big workforce demand and will require phenomenal numbers of engineers, architects, permitters, safety specialists, any number of disciplines that you could name in the direct employment for these projects.
And there's a wide range of career opportunities for Alaskans that range from process technicians, instrumentations technicians, engineers, teachers, and a whole cadre of secondary careers.
For putting Alaska resources to work. So we're very supportive of that, because that's what this is all about, is getting Alaskans prepared to go to work in these industries.
The need for education of tomorrow's workers is delivered through its Youth Employability Skills, or YES program, as well as its Teacher Industry Externships program for Alaska's public educators, in which the teachers of students in grades 7 through 12 are connected with the needs of business and industry.
I think it's paramount to have that experience, and that's why I always say, shake and bake teachers that come right out of school tend to have a harder time to get students to buy into what they're teaching. And my experience with the TIE program has gotten me those stories and the in-depth knowledge of what goes on in industry.
Most educators, teachers today, have never worked outside of an education realm. They've never really been in industry before. So when they come in and spend 2 weeks, they start to understand how what they are teaching in the classroom is really applied in the real world in a career. So it's a win for the teachers, and for industry it's a win because they actually start to understand what educators are doing in the classroom. A lot of people in industry, they haven't been in the classroom in many years, so it's really a win-win for both sides.
New technologies and automation are requiring fewer but much more highly trained employees than ever before. Alaska's process industry is no exception. Workers in the 21st century can no longer expect a career in one specialization. They must be multi-skilled and competent in several areas, and education is key.
Well, it's tough to replicate the actual in-the-field experience, but as much as possible, our industry partners provide us with equipment and up-to-date technology to help bring that as close as we can, and then we include internships with our industry partners to give them that hands-on experience. So when they're ready to go to the job, they are shovel-ready or ready to perform those jobs at the training level that they've obtained.
There's a growing need for skilled employees in the entire process industry in Alaska. APICC works to increase awareness of process industry careers and provide guidance along with industry career pathways in both rural and urban Alaska. If you are someone looking for a great career in an Alaskan industry where your abilities are valued, APICC can help you connect to education and training opportunities designed to help you take steps toward your dreams. For more information, visit apicc.org.